Well, welcome everyone to our monthly update. January 2021 was a really unique month again for the building industry and a really exciting time for our franchisees and clients. My name's Glenn, I'm the Director at Integrity Franchising, and I'm looking forward to bringing you up to date with what's happening in our business and the businesses of our clients, the builders that make up our network around Australia. So like I said, if you happen to see the last update, December 2020 was just a unique sales environment in the industry with record 20-year highs in sales volumes, which of course means January 2021 is very unique in terms of trying to deliver those sales into jobs on site and giving the product that people have purchased through the building contracts. So that's the environment we've moved into, and builders grappling with a whole new set of challenges now, because of course the industry is very busy, and what are suppliers and unscrupulous subcontractors doing in this environment? Well, they're lifting prices exponentially in some places. So we see this unique challenge of inflation sweeping through the industry, and builders saying, well, how do I maintain a profitable business in that environment? And as a franchisor, we're coaching builders on how to keep the lid on supply prices. And of course, one of the ways that we do that is by entering supply agreements with some of Australia's best building material suppliers. So the likes of Bunnings and CSR and James Hardie and Dulux and Reece, all these suppliers give us fixed prices so that when you get in an environment like this where there's a lot of upward pressure on price, our builders can be confident that their prices are remaining stable for those large elements of the home that they need to purchase to deliver their clients. So then it just comes down to negotiating with the trades and suppliers on site, and many times by using carefully crafted purchase orders, tradesmen can see that consistent work coming from our builders will mean they can provide fair prices rather than the exorbitant prices they might be tempted to charge. So putting the lid on prices is a big challenge in this environment, and one where we really work hard to deliver the best outcome we can to our franchisees. The other thing we see in this environment, of course, is also a softening in demand, because once you have this peak demand that we saw last year, then you see a flattening of demand off the back of that. So we're working with our builders to maintain their marketing inputs and optimising the SEO, the search engine optimisation of their websites, getting great social media and video content into the market, and just being really consistent with their marketing so they're able to level out the peaks and troughs in demand that we see just driven by the market effects. If builders are consistent with their marketing, they're able to have that overflowing pipeline of demand all the time and then take the profitable work that's coming through. So we continue to work with our builders on their marketing, keeping a lid on their prices, and then of course looking for financial clarity. And financial clarity remains one of the big challenges in this industry, because most business owners, when they look at their business, they're saying, have I got cash in the bank? How much cash have I got in the bank? That's a measure of my profit. And for many small businesses, that's normal and expected in the way they manage things. In the building industry, of course, though, that does not work. A builder can have hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars in the bank this month, and the bank account be empty the next month. So you can't rely on the bank balance when you're a builder to determine whether your business is sustainable and profitable. So we add a product mix with our builders of software that means their job management system connects with Xero. Now Xero, we're a Xero partner, and Xero is arguably Australia's leading bookkeeping and accounting software. And that means our builders can start to get some financial clarity that allows them to have the confidence as a business owner to make decisions. So the builders that we've worked with for many years, we start to build budgets for them very quickly and say, okay, you might not have financial clarity by looking at the bank account, but let's build a budget that will allow you to have financial clarity. We find those budgets give a lot of clarity because building contracts take time. 3, 6, 9, 12 months a building contract can stretch out to. That means over that time, a builder can start to predict their cash flow, look at what their margins are, and then make decisions like, Should I employ more staff? Should I update my car? Should I get a new display home? Should I advertise more or less? And so on. So it's really the budget that becomes the key foundation for decision making in the business rather than how much cash I've got in the bank. And that approach to management of business based on cash at bank is what we see the amateur and less experienced builders doing. But as we work with them over time, we're able to educate them and financial clarity emerges. And that's so important at a time like this where the business environment's changing rapidly due to the demand we've seen. I'm pleased to report this month we made a decision about our guest speaker at the conference, and I'm excited to announce Martin West from XGAP will be the key presenter at our conference. So I'll be the MC there and Martin will be presenting each of the sessions. And we're expecting to have 5 or 6 sessions from Martin. Martin's a specialist leadership coach, leadership speaker. He's come from a military background, and I think he's going to have a real connection with our builders. So the typical format of the event, Martin will give a presentation from the front, 15 or 20 minutes, and then we'll have smaller breakout groups where our builders can work through the specifics of their business and things they're hearing from other guys, other builders in the room that have got a similar experience. And we find the conference is 2 key things. One is its delivery of information, but then its exchange of information between the builders. And we think Martin will be a great facilitator for that. Martin's focus is leadership, and every one of you would know who's given some thought to their business that my business, your business, will never outgrow your leadership. So of course, if we're going to improve your business, we have to improve you as a leader. And that's Martin's speciality. And Martin's shared some books for us to read leading into the conference. I've posted them on our workplace group. And for those of you that are watching this video and saying, I've never been to a conference, I've never thought about leadership, really is my business can't ever outgrow me as a leader, look, we'd welcome you at the conference. Over the next few weeks and months, you're going to see invitations to come along to that. And we'd encourage you, please come. Just come as a participant without any agenda. There's no hard sell there. If you're in the building industry and you're thinking, is the franchise something that would add value to my business, then please come along. It'll run over a 24-hour period in Sydney. And we'd love to see you there and participating in what Martin's got to share and what we do as a group of builders. Last year, we saw a lot of growth in Victoria in our business. In fact, we saw 6 builders, 6 of the 10 builders that joined us last year came from Victoria, which is really exciting and quite unique. So what that's meant is in Victoria, the guys are quite geographically close to each other. So you've got 6 builders operating businesses that are the neighbours essentially. So what we've decided to do is get together a Victorian guild of our group. So that'll mean currently the 6 builders will come together approximately once every 2 months and start to exchange information face to face in the same room. And I think that's going to add a lot of value to those guys, and every one of those guys in Victoria, they're relatively new business owners, relatively new to our group, and are really looking forward to that exchange of information. So next month I'll be going to Victoria to chair the first one of those Builders Guild meetings, and I'm excited to say the Bunnings have made their conference room available for that. Bunnings, one of our key suppliers and a great supporter of our group, will be having that meeting in their conference rooms, and then off the back of that, setting up how that Victorian group can do things cooperatively together to add value to their own business and each other's businesses. And this is one of the reasons I'm so excited about franchising as a business model, because it's the only environment that you can cooperate so closely with builders in your network that are your neighbours for each other's mutual benefit. The value that comes out of that is massive, and it's only a franchise model that can achieve that, and we're really excited about what we're going to see in Victoria in coming years. The other thing we see in a franchise model is ways to cooperate, and we've developed, for that very reason, what we call a cooperative fund. So our franchisees make 2 payments in connection with being involved in our group. One's a royalty. that's paid to the franchisor and allows us to sustain our business operations. The second is a small payment to a cooperative fund. Now that fund not only receives a small payment from the builder each time they do a job, but it also receives all the payments from our suppliers, where our suppliers pay rebates to our group. Now we're really pleased with the relationship we've formed with many of the national suppliers, and I've mentioned Bunnings and I'll mention them again. They make an attractive payment each quarter to our cooperative fund. Now we don't take that as a franchisor and put in our back pocket. That goes straight back into our cooperative fund, and the resources are shared by our builders for their mutual benefit. So you're thinking, okay, there's this pot of money, what's the type of uses that we'd see for that fund? So what we see is I will only let money go out of that fund if it will benefit everyone in the group mutually. So in other words, we're not going to take a TV advertisement or a Google ad spend in someone's individual market. It's got to be something that everyone can participate in. And examples are certainly software subscriptions. So you as a business owner might need to use a particular software like Can I Build, for example, which allows you to map the building on someone's block. As a standalone builder, you've got to subscribe to that, and rightly so. But as a group of builders, we can take one subscription and leverage, put downward pressure on the costs. And that's the sort of thing we use the cooperative fund for. So software subscriptions, and we've got a number of those that we all use. Printing's another one. I don't know if you've printed something recently, but if you print 100 copies versus 1,000 copies versus 10,000 copies, the print costs fall through the floor. And so by printing things cooperatively, we're able to just drop that print cost so significantly that the builders have massive savings. So software, print costs. The other thing we're using the cooperative fund for consistently is graphic design. So we retain a graphic designer that does work for the whole group. And then every builder that needs something, and that goes on all the time. If you've had a building business or any business and you've needed material to support your marketing, you need graphic design. So our builders use a consistent graphic designer that's paid for from the cooperative fund, and again adds enormous value to their business. So we're really excited about what the value things like the cooperative fund can deliver to our clients. The other thing that we're really excited about that's happened since our last update is we've formed a relationship with Gainsborough, the lock brand Gainsborough. Gainsborough's been in the Australian market for years and years. It's probably the most well-known brand in the Australian market in locks, and we've started to specify Gainsborough as our core product, as our standard specification, and we're really pleased to align with Gainsborough. Good warranties, easy for tradesmen to fit and get warranty support on. Good support for the representatives from Gainsborough, and we think it's a great fit for our builders and their clients. So excited to have Gainsborough on board, and really looking forward to working with Gainsborough and all our suppliers as we deliver a great product to our clients this year. Last month I shared with you we were off to see Terry Greedy in Griffith, and I'm pleased to report we completed that trip. We enjoyed the afternoon with Terry and his clients, going from home to home, speaking with some of his clients, recording video, talking to Terry about his business. And I'd like to share with you now one of the highlights from that trip, and I'm sure you'll enjoy meeting Terry and getting a feel for the way his business operates.
I've had a lot of experience in the building industry. And if you want to take on, if you're a young fella or even an old fella, and you want to take on a building where you're capable of doing 4 to 5 to 6 to 8 houses a year, you can't do it by yourself without having a franchise. This franchise that I've got, I looked around at a lot of other builders, other building franchises before I got into this one. I was very lucky that I found it. It was only because I'd looked on a program where the ad was in there, and when I asked to get this franchise, I asked them about it. They were so helpful. I felt as though this was the one for us. And if you think that you can run a business without having the expertise help from guys like Tim, Shane and Glenn, then you'll struggle. So that's a really really the main reason that I needed to have this, because you cannot keep on top of everything without having a proper program behind you.
If you identified with what Terry just said and you think, well, maybe that's something for me, maybe I can add value to my business like Terry did. And as you heard, Terry's been involved with us for more than 5 years and regretted not being involved or not doing more. If that's something you can identify with, look, just look us up, shoot me a text message or a quick phone call. We can open up a conversation which is very low pressure. What I do with inquiry is I bring them into the group, into our workplace group, so you can just see what a franchise has access to, participate in a very non-confrontational way. We're an open book, very low pressure in terms of the way we approach our business. We're certainly not out there searching for builders saying we've got to find one every month. We're just looking for the right builder, the right fit in their market. Guys like Terry, they're going to represent the brand well. So if you think that might be you, give me a look up on the website or a text message. I'd love to open a conversation with you and see what we can do to help.